Jikia Bona Agana Jikia Bona Agana Mejerikeo Malen Ono mai rekodera arekoro rure ifome na wabaptiona ajare ko wujiro fiki Jesus Christ ono mai amen.
Yes, of course, my apology. Honestly, some issues were not considered and then backed off. I have been off air for some time. I will honestly tell you, it's not Facebook, it is not sabotage, it's just technical issue, which would have been avoided. But out of my own negligence, we got to that stage. That having been said, my apology. I was online with our brother Paul, who is Idoma, Biafra, and we were trying to look at some issue, having considered the position we are as a people. Our topic still remains the same. They remain the same. Like I said earlier, my apology. Exposing mediocrity in the name of agitation, as we cannot afford to ignore the danger and its consequence. Having taken time to analyze those issues, Northern Region Administrator, to find out what is really happening, for us to be able to reposition ourselves strategically for what is about to come. Can you still hear me, Brother Paul? Are you still there online?
Yes, I can hear you.
I'm sorry for
I am online and I'm receiving you properly.
I'm sorry for what happened.
It's okay.
Honestly.
It's okay. It's understood.
You see, sometimes we take some
part
things
of the world
for
we are in, so
I'm truly sorry. And so we will have to start all over again, and I will want you to introduce yourself, and then I can bring back my question to you. And I want to step up to the game. Honestly, you introduce yourself and then I will ask my question back. Go ahead, please.
Okay, so it's me, Paul Aboje. I am the presently appointed administrator for the Northern Region for Biafra Nation, and I am originated from Benue and Imo states, respectively. And I will say again, thank you for having me on this program today.
Thank you very much, my brother. And so, having taken time to analyze some of the things going on among the pro-Biafran group and among us as a people, I has categorically said that the population of Biafrans, not just across Nigeria, but across the world, is overwhelming. We have been pushing forward to ensure that a place beside is called upon, maybe referendum as the case may be. But then our people, why they are doing a lot of issues on ground. I said before now we have over 22 million Igbo. I use Igbo, not because of the Enugu man, Ebonyi man, or Anambra man, because the Efik, Ibibio, Ananang, the Doma, the Gala, the Ubobura, the Tinapa, the Abua, the Adua, the Andoni, the Ogoni, all of them are Igbo as far as I'm concerned. We will redefine that name later on. And I said the Igbos alone that are in Kaduna are over 22 million. The Igbos in Kano are over 22 million. And then considering the trending issues at hand, now the Kano, let me be polite, the issue, the way he positioned matters to the Nigerian state and the rest of it, the activities of the unknown government, ESM, and the rest of it. I want to say, how safe is our people over there? Our people in the north, how safe are they? And if things go wrong, what are you advising us to do in order to safeguard them?
Okay. So, like I mentioned before, I would say we really pray things don't go wrong. We really pray for that, and we will do everything we can to ensure that things don't go wrong, meaning that it does not deteriorate. As of this moment, the Igbos here are relatively safe, and it's only for one reason, that up till this time, people have not really given a lot of the kind of seriousness that the situation on ground in the Southeast demands. That kind of seriousness has not been accorded yet. So, there's this behavior that is it's happening over there. It doesn't touch me, so I don't bother yet. It's happening over there until it comes to your doorsteps, which is something really bad. But as of this moment, there's still a lackadaisical, how do you say? There's still some kind of a sense of distance that people have. It's like it's the problem in the South is not happening here. It's the problem in the South is not happening here. But I will tell you very frankly that in reality, I think anybody who is paying attention to the situation will not want it to go out of hand, because we do not want the events of 67 to reenact itself. Some people, as soon as you mention Biafra, think that you are spoiling for war. People do not think that it's possible to make an agitation and ask for a referendum, to make an agitation that is peaceful. At the moment you mention Biafra, they think, okay, you want to bring back the war, which is not true. But now we see what Kanu is doing and this kind of agitation, and it's now almost, for anybody who is paying attention, it's almost impossible to convince them that there will not be a war, because which is not something we want at all. And if you really know, you just give some statistics, and I will tell you that besides those numbers, we need to look at the commercial and the economic significance of the Igbos here in the north. Prior to how much the Igbos anchored the economy of the country, and they were very much present, economically viable than their properties, and came down home. After the war, they came back. In 54 years, I would say that the impact they have might be over 200% times what they had in the past. And I'm serious. You can take that to the bank. You need to come and visit Kaduna. The Igbos have made here. We're talking about virtually every sector you can think about. You have Igbos as captains of industry, education, transport and logistics, real estate. You name them.
Yes.
Manufacturing.
If I have to come in there,
Yeah.
honestly, God has been faithful to us as a people. And
I mean, it's remarkable.
The Igbo, on the other hand, cannot be undermined. We own this Nigeria. But the plague we are trying to fight and subdue is this mindset, is this programmed phenomenon regarding every community, unquote, oil. There is a deliberate effort made by the colonial master, the oil company, to make sure that those who owns the oil, their community must remain undeveloped. And so indirectly, we own Nigeria. We are the Nigeria. This truth cannot be overemphasized. But then the issue there is somebody somewhere can issue an order, and then they carry out another genocide like we have between the generation of 1967 to 1970. This is one thing we cannot tolerate any longer. And this having been said, irrespective of, I think it's important we set our priority right. That is when it comes in. The Igbos or the Biafrans in the north, do they actually understand the position they occupy in the hem of affair and the danger they oppose, they project before the Nigerian state? They don't know. But then, like the first question I ask you, some of them are already bubbling on the line to ask questions or maybe make their contribution. Go ahead, please.
Okay. All right. Let me paint a brief picture for you so you understand what's happening here. Because I have very prominent Igbos here with, like I said, with very expensive and significant investments right here. In fact, some of them have houses, befitting houses, including where I live, the area where I live. You'll see wonderful structures. But then there is something really interesting. Any of these men dies, men, women or so dies, they take their corpse back home. Do you understand where I'm driving at? They live their life here. They live most of their lives here. They make their money here. They make their investments here. Their children grow here. You have Igbos. In fact, I saw one. You need to see how very much they are conversant with the Hausa language. Many of them are perfected in it. But when they die, they are not buried here. They are taken back home. So there is this innate sense, very strong and very vivid in their hearts, that this is not their home. Do you understand? It doesn't matter how long they've lived here. It doesn't matter the kind of significance they have here. They understand deeply that this is not their home. Their home, it's where they come from, and that's where they have been buried. So, given this fact, there seems to be how do you say, not from the north. This is not their home, but this is where they've made their livelihood. So it seems like there is a part of them that strongly recognizes their roots, their origin, but there's another part of them that hopes that Nigeria doesn't break because they don't want to lose their investments here.
Brother Paul.
And this is something that has to be corrected. This is something that has to be corrected, you know.
Yeah, Brother Paul, somebody is on the line
now. It has to be corrected. Okay,
somebody is on the line. Let's see what you want to say. Can you hear me, caller on the line? Caller on the line. The caller on the line, can you hear me?
Hello, good evening.
Good evening from here. Your name and where are you calling from?
My name is AGITATION. I'm calling from Bon.
Okay, I hope you're following our program, please.
No, I'm just feeling now.
Yes, I think I lost that caller, Brother Paul. You cannot come back and continue from where you stopped.
All right. So what I was saying is that there is a lot of sensitization and thorough orientation that has to be done with Igbos in the north, and I think that's a lot of work that falls on my shoulders and several of us. But I think we'll get there. And what's this work? That we need to establish one thing. This is what I'm convinced about. Nigeria has no future. It doesn't matter what we see in the news, what is happening now, the whole one Nigerian deception. We have to recognize this truth. that this country that was founded on a lie, and I use my words carefully. I said country. I didn't say nation, because these are two different things. Nigeria, it's a country that was just it lacks the essence of nationhood. And nationhood comes from a deep sense of patriotism that is not present here. Because from whatever time the country was incepted since 100 years ago up till now, I think that the real players in the game, we're speaking about the Fulanis who are the helm of affairs, the colonials who are still holding on to this country, and every other person who is in government, they've treated the country as a business, and that's what it has been for them. It's just a place to extort money, to make money, and there's no real sense of patriotism. So we need to recognize the very fact that this country, this region, whatever we want to call it, it has no future. And everything we see playing out now, the whole insecurity, is just, how do you say, symptoms. It's like when you have an infection in your liver, if you are familiar with this organ called the liver, it's a very trickish organ that even when it is dying, it doesn't seem to stop working. Medical people say that your liver can be means 90% of it is compromised, but it will still keep functioning until it completely packs up. And this is more or less how Nigeria is operating right now. It is dying. Some people are not seeing it. And this is the kind of orientation we need to make with Igbos here, to recognize that even if this is where their investments have been, this is where they made their livelihood, they should start to consider the possibility that in the nearest future, they will have to be recognized as foreigners. But it's not a crime to be a foreigner. We have, there are Igbos everywhere, all over the place. Even here in Nigeria, we have foreigners who have investments here. So we need to start to think about policies, structures, along lines of international relationships to secure ways that their lives and properties will be safe in the event that when that time comes, when we have our country, we have our Biafra.
Thank you.
I do not know into how many parts Nigeria will split, but we have to start to think and to pay strong attention to the fact that they don't necessarily have to leave. They're not saying that you should leave your investments here, but consider the fact that you become foreigners here. And maybe the rules of the game of business there will be different.
Thank you very much. Just a minute. We have a caller on WhatsApp, but then before I will bring in the caller, I want to throw more light because of trying to make your presentation. Number one, you talked about the Igbos in the north who are well or properly indoctrinated with the system of the north, and that reminds me. Dim Chukwemeke or the Megu Juku is more of a northernant than Anambra or Enugu man or Abia man. I don't even know. We talk about our brother Chukuma Kaduna Nzogo. He's more or less a northernant. You watch all the Biafrans, opinion molder, leaders of thought, academians, political leaders. You see, he said that they are That having been said, if you take history of most people from Emeka or Four to Yuanyangu and the rest of them, they can find their way home back to the north even more than they can find to the east. But now, the fascinating or amazing issue there is that when they die, they want to go home. They don't bury them in the north. They want to come back home. And so they can speak Keneru, they can speak Hausa Fulani, they can speak whatever language. They can be able to, mix up with the people of that region. But just like a song say, oh my home, when shall I see my home? Shall I see my home? When shall I see my native flag? I will never forget my home. And so there is this embedded truth inside them. No matter their achievement, no matter the volume of poverty, to come back home. And then this should send a signal or ripple effect to every Biafrans across the globe. Why do you want to come back home? I started this program on the other edition, reminding us my younger brother died in India, and then to incriminate his body or bury him there or bring him back home, and home, because IPOB India has compromised the whole situation. In fact, Indian government wrote to me and said, if I don't bury my brother within a particular period of time, they will confiscate the body. And so I have to call the Anyoma, Eka communities in India and said, I give it up to you. He is buried in India, but this is against our culture and tradition. But I believe somewhere along the line, of course, they are going to send the dead, and this will be buried in my hometown. And that is, even though my brother has opportunity to make decision, but then there is this thing embedded in all of us. We want to get home. The world must understand our yearning is simple. We want to go home. They must recognize it. They must accept it. They must install facilities in place that will enable us go home. Not just a referendum, not just asylum. We want to go home. They should understand that. Let's listen to our brother on WhatsApp and see his contribution. And please, if you are not hearing what he's saying, be free to indicate so I can adjust my facilities and then see how you can be able to hear what he's saying to enable you make your. Our brother on WhatsApp, can you hear me? Mazi Audio Guinea.
I can hear you.
No, I'm talking to Mazi Audio Guinea on another WhatsApp line, not you, Bra Paul. Mazi Audio Guinea, you are moved.
Okay.
Can you hear me? Mazi Audio Guinea, can you hear me, please? You are on mute because I have kept you waiting for some time. Mazi Audio Guinea, can you hear me? But if he cannot hear me, we'll move on to the second question, and then we still be waiting pending when he's able to call back. Biafrans must understand. Our request is simple. We want to go home. And to go home, we are ready to go home. And so, yes, Brapo, you were saying something before I cut you off. So, please continue with what you were saying. But if you are done with that, I may have to ask you another question. Go ahead, please.
A lot of work both into sensitizing the Igbos here to recognize the one truth, something fundamental at the heart of our struggle, of our agitation, and that is the fact that the nearer than farther in sight. The fact that was founded on fraudulent foundations, and for this reason, it's not going to hold for very long. Everything we are seeing happening now is the fact that it is coming to an end.
I think we have our brother back online. Please, let's hear from him. Yes, Mazi Audio Guinea, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. How are you?
I'm very fine, my brother. Go ahead, please.
Okay. Once again, good evening. Good morning, good afternoon, depending your time zone. I still remain your humble servant, Mazi Audio Guinea. You know, whenever you're listening to Diopa Onyibe, tonight you're on fire. No matter anything that comes for the transmission breaking, but we still here. You know, tonight you just on fire to try to enlighten our people or to expose the things that are going on in our land. If you are a Biafran listening to this evening edition, you can understand, you can learn things, you can understand what is going on, and what the people that we think that they are there to save our people. You know, when you mention Barrister your 4 wives, DSS, I was shocked also. Nande Carlos sister, DSS, Barrister your 4 DSS, the freedom? Who is the one that's standing for our people? So they are using our people to make money. They're just using our people to make money. That's things I'm seeing there. The same way Experimental and the car is using our people to make money. The same way he came on air to talk about they're talking about asylums, whatever. We are not agitating for asylum. We are agitating for the freedom of our people. That's why we come out. That's why all the whole people join this movement to make sure that we go back home. Not for an asylum. You know, in the beginning, they are mumbling, saying that they are getting asylum, UK announced, whatever. Now, because they hear that we are not here, the Biafra nation people are not here for the asylum. They are here for the freedom of our nation. Freedom of Igbo nation, freedom of John nation, freedom of Ikwere, all the whole that makes our people, they don't understand where we are going. But where we are going, we want our freedom. We need our freedom. I don't understand. You know, the one that shocked me is, honestly, for the viewers, for the listeners, DSS. Oh my goodness. No wonder they are going there to free our people. They say they are freeing our people. All this kind of thing is happening. How can you believe that these people are fighting for the freedom of our people? That can save you? You don't understand the atrocity that are going on in our land. No, I just want to. I don't even know. I was shocked of words. I don't know what to say for the listeners, of this evening edition. The IPOP, the people that say that they're IPOP, and the another criminal of our time, the criminal, the killer of our time. Oh my goodness. My people must wake up so that we can be able to do what we have to do to go back home. We must do what we have to do.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, Onyibe. I don't have a lot of things to, you know, I'm
there are many things
to say.
We are waiting for Nanikana. Let him be yapping. I'm waiting for him to mention my name so that I can send him 40 years back into his career. You know what he's doing to our people?
You know,
he has issued order. Oh, we have to do this, we have to do that. Go and kill Okon. Go and kill Fulani, so we know you are serious. You should kill Fulani.
You know, there's another thing he say. He like to yab on the radio, the ranter. He came on radio to rant. He said 12 o'clock to 5 o'clock. Who is operating from 12 to 5 a.m.? 12 p.m. to who is operating from that time? Is this time around? There's no night boss in our land. There's no night boss. Why is he talking about midnight and I want to go to the market early in the morning? For they start going to the market from 4 o'clock, or they want to rob them. I don't understand why you mentioned 12 is anybody that is going on, but there's a coffee in Biafra land. There's a coffee that going on. He said 12 o'clock. What is the what exactly that thing want to show to people? I don't understand. 12. Who is going out? There is no electricity, no street light, no good road. During that time, not even night bus. There's no night bus. He's talking about the people that are going to rob. He's talking about them. He's talking about their own unknown government that will operate when they are operating during that period. He must tell us what he planned again against our people that early in the morning that are going to morning mass from 4 o'clock. Because anybody they kill during that period, you must understand that it's Nnamdi Kanu killed them. Is he planning another way to kill our people early in the morning from 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock? Continue. You must continue. May Chukwu Kikabiyama keep strengthening you. May Chukwu. Good. Thank you for the good work you are doing.
We go nowhere. We go nowhere. Tell them so they understand. Yes, our brother on the Mazepo, are you still there, Bra Peter? Or Bra Paul, rather?
Yeah, I'm here with you.
Yes.
I'm here with you.
Yes. That having been said, what is your recommendation as a Biafran who is living in the north? What is your recommendation? What do you want us to do? Do we heat up the politics? Do we consider those of you in the north? Because we know things, if things go out of hand, they will pay dearly for it. We still have archive record of those who died in the north, stopped in Plateau State, and the rest of them, they never made it home. Now, I want you to respond to two issues. Number one, are people in the north, what is your advice to them? And we that are here in Biafra land, what is your advice to us to ensure a successful transition from their place of abode back to their homeland, their fatherland? Go ahead, please.
All right, thank you very much. Let me use a small analogy. They say that basically this is something in the line of commerce and business. If you have a product that has failed in the market, let's call it a supplement or a medicine, and customer starts to give reviews, consumers start to give negative reviews saying this medicine doesn't work, or it doesn't do what it says it's doing, or people complain about a lot of side effects of your product. All right. There is. Can you hear me? Okay. All right. So you have a product in the market as a manufacturer, and this product has lost its potency or its value, its market value, and you have negative reviews coming from customers and consumers alike saying that this product doesn't work or it's manifesting in adverse side effects and they don't want to use it anymore. Now, you want to gain their confidence again. You want to make them use your product again. How do you convince them that this product is good? Or if possible, you actually notice that their complaints were legitimate and there were issues. Maybe it was a batch. It could happen that there was a production batch that was faulty and you recognize that fault. In a wide, very wide rife abuse, distrust, let's put it this way, of that product, and people don't want to use it anymore. How do you think you can convince them to tell them, okay, this product is actually still good? What you had, these people who don't want to use your product anymore. Now, do you know what you can do is to use it so that they see. I'll give you a practical scenario. Some 20 years ago or thereabouts, I think around, maybe 25 years ago, there was this widespread agitation that beans was poisonous. The beginning of that time, some 25 years ago, had become poisonous and people didn't want to use beans anymore. I think it was even in the news line.
Please, Brother Paul, please. Let's listen to this caller.
Okay.
On WhatsApp.
Okay.
Yes, caller on WhatsApp, are you still there? Caller on WhatsApp.
I'm speaking with Radio Biafra.
Biafra Human Rights Radio, and I am George Onyibe. Please go ahead, your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Michael. I'm calling from London.
Go ahead, please.
Please, I want to ask something. Don't cut me off, please. All right?
Now, what you do is you obey my rules. If I ask you questions,
I have been
if you hold on, are you hearing me? Let me give you my rules. You made a request.
I'm hearing you.
Yes. Number one, if I say stop, you stop. If I ask you question, you answer. Doesn't matter what you say to me. I won't be biased, okay? Just 2 rules. So go ahead with what you have to say.
All right. I'm listening to your program. You are making a point. I'm learning from you. I can understand some reasonable things you are saying, but I want to...
Go ahead, please.
Why is it that in your programs that all you are talking about is all about what you are discussing is all about Nnamdi Kanu print what you mapped out what you map out
your question
to do for Biafra?
Your question is clear. Now let me respond.
Okay.
You are a very sincere man and I give it to you.
Yeah,
and
thank you.
The same question should be directed to Nnamdi Kanu. Why did he spend almost 10 years castigating Raphael? Does it mean he don't have blueprint? The same thing that led him to castigate Raphael Waziriki for almost a decade, demonize Nyamodu for almost a decade, his deputy Uche Mefo, he criminalized him, and then you were there when they were making mockery of me on Radio Biafra. I didn't think you cautioned them. The same thing is what is propelling us to react. And aside that, Nnamdi Kanu has become the clause in the wheel of our progress. It doesn't matter how many people he's taking advantage of their predicament situation in the Nigeria to hear. We will continue to expose him until he come back. Are you aware he's gradually turning to Igbo agitation, Nnamdi Kanu? I'm not an Igbo man from the Nigerian standard. Okay? And then what he's driving is creating complete hulobalo. We can't stand it. It's from Afari Beku. You have 2 major. Does he consider their position when he's doing what he's doing? And now, every genuine son and daughter of Igbo must trace back the consequence of Nnamdi Kanu action now. Other Igbo extraction, which is not part of the larger Igbo community, are doing today. Ikwere will say, I'm not Igbo. Whether you are from Ishiokpo, whether you are from Ikwere, whether you are the 7 sons of Apara, these are Igbo. From what do you call it, Opobo Nkoro, even to Bakassi Peninsula. This is Obane, for God's sake. And then you see people from Anyoma, my extraction. It is easy to say, oh, I'm not Igbo. But from the Nigerian standard, I'm not Igbo. The reason we follow the Nnamdi Kanu and Uche Mefo and IPOB is to create this, to correct this impression. Now, if we want to go back, why is Nnamdi Kanu is not doing Igbo security network? Where does he put us? I'm not done. Now, this issue, it's not just about Nnamdi Kanu. It's not just about George Onyibe or any other person. It is about the next generation. Our enemies are relaxing.
Yes.
And the last time I checked, unknown government has killed only Igbo. Until they kill Fulani headsmen, Miati Allah and Boko Haram, I will never talk in support of them. And as far as Nnamdi Kanu come out and tell Nigerian he's sending his in Eastern Security Department to send our youth to their death, I will never applaud him. He should be able to do what he has to do without betraying those people. I am a victim of that circumstance. I will stop there so you continue.
Okay. Yeah, thank you very much. I clearly understand what you're saying. But what I want to say is this. You said that Nnamdi Kanu, but I must tell you that since I have been listening to Nnamdi Kanu, I have listened to Nnamdi Kanu I haven't heard Nnamdi Kanu make mention of Uche before and say something wrong about him.
Right.
It's only Uwazurike.
Yes.
And wait a minute. It's only Uwazurike that Nnamdi Kanu has been castigated.
Yes.
And all of us Uwazurike being an Igbo man and from Anambra State, we know that Uwazurike betrayed us.
Yes.
We know that.
You know now.
We know that.
Hold on. You knew that Uwazurike betrayed us. Why? Because Nnamdi Kanu highlighted on.
Yes, Nnamdi Kanu highlighted on.
Hold on now. We are highlighting Nnamdi Kanu shortcoming. Why can't you be patient and then see the truth? You knew that Uwazurike betrayed us because Nnamdi Kanu took time to highlight his shortcoming. Now allow Judge Onyibe to highlight Nnamdi Kanu.
My brother, I must obey your rules and regulations, which you told me earlier before this conversation.
Yes.
Yeah. I must obey the rules. But let me tell you something. I was in Nigeria and my sub agitation was going on towards Biafra restoration. And I saw what Uwazurike was doing with my 2 eyes. Nobody told me. For the fact that Nnamdi Kanu, now start, highlighting us based on what Uwazurike is doing,
Hold on.
I saw it with my 2 eyes. Nnamdi Kanu did not told me.
I'm begging you. Did you give your name before you start talking?
Yes.
Like I said, you are a sincere man. And I want our conversation to be profitable to our people. If I go wrong, please try and be patient with me. You said you saw what Uwazurike did. You saw it, coupled with the fact that Nnamdi Kanu took advantage of his shortcoming and demonized him. Now, I have to remind you that at the same time in IPOB, I was Rivers State Deputy State Coordinator. I was my unit
Rivers
State Deputy State Coordinator under David Njoku.
Okay.
At that same time, I am my unit coordinator. At the same time, I am my zonal coordinator. At the same time, I am Biafra Land National Deputy Coordinator. At the same time, I am Biafra Land Coordinator. At the same time, I am local government coordinator. At the same time, I am the African rep. At the same time, I am a member of the DOS. At the same time, I handle numerous positions. And I'm in the best position to give you the testimony of Nnamdi Kanu or anybody. This lasted for almost 6 years. Now, based on what you saw about Uwazurike, you believed all Nnamdi Kanu blasphemerous word against him. And now, based on what I know about Nnamdi Kanu, I am giving you the same thing. So why are you trying to shift it now? I am closer to Nnamdi Kanu than all of you. All of you. Only few individuals know IPOB more than George Onyibe. And so, only when you are not sincere, you can tell me what you are saying is wrong. I am under oath, not paper oath. Nnamdi Kanu took me to 2 different shrines, even as a reverend. But for the love of Biafra, we cross every boundary. If you have the right to believe Uwazurike is a demon, and me that have worked with Nnamdi Kanu, who know that his sister is still a policewoman, he didn't threaten his sister. He's threatening Okon Akwa Ibom man. You want us to cause trouble in Biafra land? Is that what you... Have you condemned his sister? I just said that Ojofor wife is a DSS.
Can I talk now?
Now, say the things that will edify us. Don't defend Nnamdi Kanu because I will rubbish him.
Listen to me, my brother. Yeah, listen to me, my brother. I'm not here. I'm a brown. I'm from Anam, in Anambra West Local Government of Anambra State. I am not here to defend anybody. All I want is Biafra, irrespective of who will get the Biafra for me. All right? I don't. If you can get a Biafra for me, I will follow you. If Nnamdi Kanu can get it for me, if Rich MFO can get it for me, I will follow him. All right? But my problem is this. Nnamdi Kanu must not be. You as a you yourself, you yourself, you are not a saint, you are not a god, you're a human being. Nnamdi is a human being. He may make a mistake, he may say some things that is not ought to be said, like you yourself and like me as a human being. But what I'm saying is this: all we want is Biafra. All right? The guy is fighting tooth and nail to get it.
No, he's not. He's collecting money. He's not. You can't say that because you don't even know him. Are you a member of IPOB?
Okay, wait.
Are you a member of IPOB?
Yes.
Which of the unit?
Huh?
Which of the unit? Which of the zone?
I said, listen to me. Listen to me. I said that I'm
hold on. Who is your coordinator?
Which means that what I'm saying is that I'm telling lies to you.
My brother, if you don't answer me for record purpose, like
this is my problem. This is my problem. Can I tell my problem?
If you don't listen to me, this is.
This is your program. I know.
The conversation. You listen to me. You were there.
No. I don't want us to end it because I don't want to.
Then let's follow it.
I don't want us to end it because I want to air my view. I want to tell you my problem. Let me air my problem.
Your problem has nothing to do with the interests of the Biafran people, as I can see.
Okay,
so
no,
if
this
you
is
want
my problem.
If you
can
want
I say it?
You can't say it yet until you listen to me. Have you heard them talk about me? Have you heard them talk about me on Radio Biafra?
That doesn't count.
No, it counts. If it doesn't count, then you're calling me does not count. Why are you telling me how to address Nnamdi Kanu?
No.
My brother, answer my question. In fact, get out, idiot. Mugu. It's from Anambra. Nnamdi Kanu leave Afari Bek with destroying Anambra. Una no get sense. All of you are enjoying it. Nnamdi Kanu will send people to fight proxy war. I wanted to have a genuine conversation with you. But you are not reasoning. You are from Anam. Or more of Onitsha is Ranioma. So each time you are yapping, this division to do it. Rubbish. Why can't we tell ourselves the truth? For 4 months, I kept quiet and I crossed my leg. Darlington was busy. Oh, Judge Onyibe, Mazio BD, please be patient with me, I beg you. Judge Onyibe is a saboteur. He's sleeping with people. Why? He's doing this one. All those time was enjoying it. Listen, let me tell you. If you want, know the truth. If you don't want, don't know the truth. Anyhow, I want that. We they take record of all of us. Look at Biafran people. You want me to be in the same country with people like you? It's unfortunate. Who is the guy on the WhatsApp, please? Who is the brother Peter? Please be patient. Who is the person on the other WhatsApp? Good evening, my brother. Your name and where are you calling from? Try and be brief.
You guys calm down.
You see? No. My concern is that what is good for the goose is good for the ganja. Now they can say, HMF is working with MI5. He's a thief. He sold Radio Biafra. Hey, come and help me. Hey. They were enjoying it. Now the Kanu is not ready for what is coming for him. He has to take this Biafra agitation back to Afari Beku. If not, our duty as Biafra watchmen is to make sure nobody sells it. Our transmitter will be in Biafra land. We will pursue this thing. Any politician that confide in Nnamdi Kanu against the Fulani, come to Rogodo and kill me. Why are we doing this to our people? Nobody call Radio Biafra as it they hot, as it they cold, as it they ginger to even caution them and leave me alone. I beg them to leave me alone, let me disappear. They say Nnamdi Kanu say he will rubbish me till I can't open my door to come out. But there is no shame in the womb that gave birth to me. How could he possibly achieve that? And so when you call, that's your mindset. Keep it to yourself. You are somewhere in America, London. You are calling me to teach me Mura. Come to Biafra land. Come to Biafra land. You are killing Igbo people. And you are becoming relevant. Rubbish. People will listen. Oh. It doesn't mean. Nnamdi Kanu can say, leave WhatsApp. The people on WhatsApp are DSS. Yes, we are DSS. But I've just told you that Barrister Ojofor's wife is a DSS worker. Let him come and let me expose him very well. You condemn DSS, and your wife and your sons and your children, all of them are DSS. Who is setting Biafrans up? Who is setting Igbo people up? Thunder, fire all the idiots. Uzurumba and the other person, Umazi Okonkwo in America. Go and check how they were set up. Most of the money in that Biafra Foundation, which does not belong to IPOB or any other idiot, it is Barrister Ojofor that has taken more than half of the money. And then idiot Okana is telling you, I go to America and take them to where the law work. We are the law. Rubbish. Telling Nnamdi Kanu, ESM or no government, come and kill George Onyibe. Come to Yorogodo. I have refused to believe one testimony. Before we will say, hey, Igbo people, don't trust them. That is how they behave. I will never believe that, even in 100 lifetime. Nonsense. Please, there are a lot of people on the line this evening. I just don't know, but your proper introduction and go ahead. But before then, Mazubidi, please be patient with me. Brother Paul, please be patient with me. Go ahead.
Okay.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, my brother.
I want to plead for you to come down. My name is Frank Obidike. I'm calling from Palermo, Italy. I love his question, the way he begin, and your answer for question he ask you, because this question is being the question of almost every.
His question is simple. His question is simple. I say every of my brokers for now, my team is in Nnamdi Kanu. Can't you people accept that and respect me for it? You never condemn him when he was demonizing Owazulike. You never condemn him when you were listen, if you don't let me talk, I will cut you off. This broadcast, hold on, this broadcast, generation yet unborn will listen to it.
Yeah.
All of us. Am I saying am I Mozob? I saw what Owazulike men did in Anambra. That is why I didn't join Mozob. They were collecting money for uploading. We know this thing. He took time to destroy them. What is in Nyanwodo? The last time I met with Nyanwodo, in that meeting, the man was crying. He brought out Catholic chaplet in the house of Professor Ben Wambozi. He didn't know I was George Onyibe until Barrister Ojofor exposed me. I saw his anger. Ohaneze Ndigbo, man leader of Lagos State, was there. And they were like, is this guy George Onyibe? But I don't know these people. Nyanwodo cried and said, I have only one son. What you people are doing, I have to send him away. And now all of a sudden, now I'm giving him my son. Let him sacrifice this in the name of Biafra. There are mad people. Listen, let me tell you, we are not in a hurry. I'm not in diaspora. I'm here in Biafra land. The last battle will be in Afari Beku. Until how long shall they kill our prophet while we'll stand beside and look? I watch all of you. None of you cautioning Nnamdi Kanu. It is when I start responding and now begin to fight proxy war. Why are we doing this to ourselves? Nobody changed the narratives. He's told us now, go and kill Okon, police commissioner. Who is a Biafra? Idiot everywhere. Try and summarize so I can go ahead, please, my brother.
Okay. Onyibe. And so I ask you once again to calm down, and as this thing always be, people are calling to make their own opinion and to talk. Some people even have been sent, So
they are sent. They
to,
are sent. When you
yeah,
call,
you have to,
when you call, I don't have problem. If you call, Onyibe, you are crazy, you are mad. I will let you finish, and then I move on. But somewhere along the line, for the sake of the next generation, I say, hold. Now the Kanu is unknown government. Now the Kanu want to kill Igbo politician. He want to kill Ohaneze Ndigbo. He want to kill everybody. Who is his father? Is his father not part of the 419 king that appointed by Oji Okalo? The background. Is he an idiot? Is he an idiot? Telling Nandekano he's listening. He can use people to attack me. All of them, are they an idiot? Onyabo can walk. Kirone. Kirone. Is this why we put our blood in this thing? All of you talking from diaspora, do you know if we didn't put our blood in this thing, none of you can come out? ESM, unknown government, all the idiot, come out. Anywhere you give me location, I will come and meet you, idiot. We are the one who is safeguarding you, and you are yapping. Yeah, there will not be election in Anambra. Tell us there will be no election in Abia. We support you there. It's an idiot. How many Anyoma people has it turned against themselves? And now Anyoma is waiting for Nandekano. Why would he do that? You people don't even know what is happening. You are following Ginger and all shall be he, all shall be he. I Bundi Biafra, I Bundi Biafra. They are mad people. We can't learn from the Fulani Janja weed. We can't learn from the Hausa Fulani. We can't learn from the Yoruba. Idiot are there carrying certificate up and down, telling us, we are the graduate, we do the one nation is dictating. Let him start that thing he's doing. Don't worry. We kept quiet. We documented our record. Now the Kano can delete his Facebook page 100 times as a like. I am waiting one day. Napato yebwa ishi otopo ha gwenye owo supremacy opo George Onyibe ne mbwa ike. Ihe pupo hyo amora ye. Why you people doing like this? Kerone. Kerone. Can't we look at what has happened in the past and make amends for the sake of the next generation? Do you think if I lose anything I have any regret? I have no regret in fighting for Biafra. I have no regret in fighting for my people, because they are truly the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. Biafra will make all impossible while we believe. Telling Nandekano should prepare. You let him turn to Adeboye. Yes, Nandekano is broadcasting with Pastor Elijah. He broadcasting in the other. Why did you cancel it? Come and turn to man of God. We will tell you where to fall in. Rubbish. My brother, you are a patient man. Just tell us what you want to tell us. Let us move ahead.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mazi Onyibe. My question remains to this last caller, that make you to try to boss your brain, make your brain no boss, My question to him is, he said that he was in Nigeria when Wazike was doing what he was doing, that he saw what Wazike did. What was that he saw that Wazike did? Because I always ask the whole people that are saying that Wazike he thieved this money.
I was in Anambra State. I traveled from Lagos State to Anambra State. I was going to Enugu State. And then our vehicle dropped us in Opiweka so we can convey another motor to Enugu State, because one of my church members actually died. We were going for the burial. And then in that motor park around Opiweka, people started running. And Wazirike is my friend. I love that man. At least what he was able to do for Biafra in that time. And then I was like, I asked people there, what is happening now? They say Mozo people are collecting of like the same people fighting to free us are collecting offloading money. They say that is what they do. That is what disengaged me from Mozob, from joining. That should be either 94 or 98. Okay? And I said, if Mozob can be doing this to their people, I think they've not been able to really define what freedom is all about. If Nnamdi Kanu can betray Akowara, if Nnamdi Kanu can arrange more than 27 people to mesmerize me, if Nnamdi Kanu can set up every principal officer of IPOB in Delta State, if Nnamdi Kanu can be bamboozling all of us, and yet he talk about Biafra nation and his love for Biafra nation, and people are not able to judge from yardstick, and then such Biafra should not exist. Okay? So there are a lot of things. I will not condemn Wazirike. I have high respect for him. All of them have their mistakes. I can only pray that God will not allow them to continue in that their mistake. But their mistake become obvious because Nnamdi Kanu spent time to destroy them. And then he turn around and begin to do the same thing they are doing. And so it is not proper for anybody to tell me how to reason or how to think. Nnamdi Kanu know the location of my children. Let him kill them. He knows where to see me. Let him come. I shuttle between Urugudu, Delta State, and River State. And I tell them, I dare all of them, I will be the first and the last they will make move. I am their destiny and their doom. It's fact that we gave everything for truth. We gave everything for the love of our people. You think I care for you? What we have been through? Honestly, I am not biased. This is how I talk. Go ahead, please.
Like what I'm seeing there, there are some people, who have come out and said that Wazirike take money from Nigerian government, that Wazirike is killing our people, So, but when I watch Wazirike news, when I watch Nigerian news, some events Wazirike used to make, even only him taking that Biafra flag in Nigeria for me is risky for him, really. So, and that what gives me confidence and courage. All those why people were saying that he cheap money, I was not always carrying this Biafra flag and making big events about what is going on now within after crossing Nnamdi Kanu now. For me, this is not it's not an incident, because when you plant any tree, you're going to reap that tree. I tell my members, before this problem happened, in IPOP, I told my members, I told them, listen, God forbid one day the people that are following Nnamdi Kanu will come and say he's a thief, he doesn't do good, and they blame him, like what is going on now. Because I saw I kind of calm because I've weighed all these people trying to scale away, they are trying to pull away. I never find any evidence. I'm in Europe here. If you want to call somebody a criminal, you bring out photos, you bring out receipts, you bring out, you don't just do on air and call people criminal and give people hate speech. And moreover, 2021 we are now is not a time somebody to come out in a media to come and speak hate speech. If you're looking for your country and you're talking hate speech, people cannot listen to you. So I like what you people are doing in order to change the narrative of this struggling, but we have to take it very, very easy to our people, because trust me, people are being filled with many words, with many promises, because sometimes people that in prison, they use words to do their prison, because they keep Biafran people in prison and telling them Biafra will come today, Biafra will come tomorrow. I said it all. Everything I say is going to happen. Who are you? Who are you that will say everything you say that is going to happen? Nobody is like that in this world. So I appreciate what you do. So my only concern now is how the Billion family will spread this message now to reach everybody, Even the people that is not buying this idea with us right now, I believe in the future they will understand what we are really doing, because the only thing that can never fake in this life is the truth. The idea, the suggestion you people are bringing is the best suggestion to achieve their France struggle, And why I'm happy that the open call that have been made to every Biafran who want this struggle to move forward to come and join hands like one family, to move in this government to come and become part of this government. So anybody who is willing to support Biafra should bring himself down. We don't want to know where you put yourself to hide. Even if you put them for Mountain Everest, you have to come down. You have to lower yourself and answer the call for unity, the call for reconciliation, and the call for moving forward and for the restoration of the Biafra. So that caller that called from the British, I urge you to listen more in Biafran Nation family, listen to this radio and try to pick more points. Don't try to listen always only that what they call Nnamdi Kanu, because Nnamdi Kanu, he have been calling another Owazirike and all the rest of the people before criminals, and so it's his own turn. So he should not run for it, and nobody should come and defend him for that, because this is just like a calamity, it's a magnet. So I finish for this night. I greet every Biafran family. I greet everybody, and let us make more strategies how to make our own network, We have to use our human resources. Anywhere we have them all over the world. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Thank you, my brother. The truth cannot be overemphasized. Our people must embrace this truth. It doesn't matter. Honestly, it is the love of Biafra that brought us here. Sometimes two people viewing. If you like, a zero viewing. You see this truth. You see this Biafra matter. We will tell you how it will end. Rubbish. I have grown up in an atmosphere. When things go wrong, they betray Igbo man. When things go wrong, they blackmail Igbo man. Anything I hear, I see Igbo. And then I grew up and I discovered I am Igbo. And the Kanu has come to prove them right. An idiot, yeah, we are formidable. You are Eastern security. All of you know where I am. You know where to see me in Orogodo or in Port Harcourt. Come let thunder fire you. There are mad people. You want to intimidate Obiano, so you collect money. No election in Anambra is an order. Who the idiot are you? Go and give order in Afari Beko Kezi Ekpazu waiting for you. Mugu are coming here to tell us how to reason. When we should have run, we faced bloodied men. Who the idiot are you? Doesn't Nnamdi Kanu know what they did to move him from the north to Abuja? Does he know all the people who stood on the line for him? He called them saboteur, thunder, fire all of them. Mad people. And of course, gentlemen, pardon my manners. Mazio Bidi, I don't know if you can hear me, and honestly, so sorry that I put you on hold.
I'm not going to bother you, man.
I'm sorry, please. You have rightly told us in this time to humble ourselves. And that is exactly what we are doing. Can you hear me, Mazio?
It's okay.
Go ahead.
I'm here.
Go ahead, please, sir.
I'm
Thank you
here,
for
my
holding
man.
on.
Let me
daddy,
say hello to
first of all, our daddy. When we call you, answer also.
You gotta listen to me.
You did not answer. I said our daddy, and you are speaking Igari.
I'm here. I'm
okay.
I'm so happy about it. I'm so happy about it.
Go ahead, please.
Thank you so very much, my brother. This is your brother, Obidio Bieno, to all Biafrans who are listening. God bless each and every one of you who are here to listen to the gospel of truth and at the same time the gospel of redemption. I must thank you so very much, my reverend, for the host you have on the radio today, Mr. Paul. I know you were calling him Paul and Peter in between. Please, Mr. Paul, if you can hear me, clarify, because I know,
he's
I
Mr.
know
Paul.
I don't know what kind of
His name
neurotransmitter
is
that is too fired too much on my reverend's brain. This and then.
You see, my younger brothers are actually twins, identical twins. So sometimes I don't even know who is Peter and who is Paul. That is the same thing
So Mr.
feeling
Paul,
I'm having. It's Mr. Paul, please.
It's okay. Mr. Paul, thank you so very much for coming in today. Actually, my reverend, I just called to commend that move for bringing this young, intelligent man that I'm listening to today. And I say, wow, thank God. I hope this program, our programs will change to these modalities, bringing in people who have common sense. We are not talking about people who have degrees, people who have common sense to help with this situation, because the situation we are in is really pitiful. Few things that I heard him say that I said, let me call in and comment, because it's good. I've learned that this time around, we need to, if you love somebody, show them that you love them. If somebody is doing good, appreciate them, not calling them God, but appreciate them, so that they will know that they are doing good in such a way they can do good. And you don't appreciate people in the secret. You appreciate them in the open, so that it will boost their self-esteem and encourage them to do more. And this is why, basically, this is honestly the reason I called. Before, I was waiting and I heard you responding to a series of people who have called in here this evening. And a few things that Paul said that got my attention. One, he gave you an analogy with the country called Nigeria. I call it contraption. He gave you an analogy using the liver. And that's, it kind of get me, because I know about what he was talking about. As a matter of fact, liver people can survive with liver at 95%, but it's already problem. It's 95% of that's the strongest organ in the body. And then he told you about if a company is out there trying to sell their products, and people are beginning to complain of that product. What he was trying to say is that there is need for the company to reassess, to evaluate what they are doing, to see what is going on with this problem, with their products. He also says something in line with how our people goes to the north, and when they die, most of them wants to go back home. They are not buried in the north, but they are buried at home. And I was waiting for him to continue to yield and other things he got to say. But I know he's going to come back anyway. Please, I'm requesting for that.
No. He's still on the line. He's listening to you.
And then all these people that are calling to throw out the program. My Reverend, let me let you know, I know you might be lenient enough for people to, or maybe you know these individuals before, trying to help them out to understand what we're doing today. But I can tell you, my brother, and I'm going to give you a citation from the scriptures. The scripture says that nobody gives the food that belongs to the children to the dogs. I don't know if you heard me. God in heaven does not permit you to give the things that are set for the children to the dogs. That's all I can say in that. So, whosoever wants to be advocate, unassigned or unspecified advocate for the element of our time, they can. They can. They can. Let them go to somewhere else and do that. This platform is set to reorient our people. It's set to get our people together, to come together, to form the government that we need. And government is for the people, so that the government of the people can work for the people. It's not about an individual. So the explanation, the trying to get them to see your heart, honestly speaking, I think it's a kind of unnecessary use of energy. Because guess what, my brother, this morning, before I called in here, one of my older cousin's wife, I sent them an information regarding the tactics that this Epirima is employing. And guess what this woman told me? She wrote me back and said, anything, it's Obidi, anything about fighting against him, they cannot, I should not send it to him. And I said to her, I'm sorry, sir, ma'am. I'm sorry, that's the end of it. And I blocked her. Blocked. She cannot talk to me again. You know why? When her husband, late husband, was alive here, I called him here. And I was talking him into helping with this struggle. The man was giving me all kinds of excuses. And I'm sorry to say this. He never supported what we're doing. And this is someone that would have been number one in what we're doing, considering how Nigeria threw him to the mud. Because this is a learned man that came and acquired all the education he wanted, went back home. He served as in the government of Anambra State. I'm not going to mention his name. And because he wanted a good thing for his people, they threw him to the mud. Okay, this is just a little foundation. But when this issue of Biafra was coming up and I was calling him, I said, you are someone that should be on our front in this issue, that these people have permeated our land. He didn't want to support. Apparently, the wife wasn't supporting. This is the same person telling me today that he doesn't want to hear anything condemning Nnamdi Kanu's action. So this is just by the way. So you can understand the problem that we're facing today. The problem we are facing today is that people who are not part of this project. My reverend, something is echoing in my ear, please. It's really bothersome. The problem here is that people who have refused this call for the past several years are now people telling us that we must continue. And you just give somebody an example. The areas of services you did for IPOB, and you asked him, is he a member of IPOB? And he couldn't answer yes or no. The people we see condemning our activity today, that is telling us to keep quiet, not talk about this, please, are people who have been hiding under the bed. They are not supporting what we're doing. And when they think that Biafra has come because their little sense, their pigeon, not even pigeon sense, their Nza brain, they think with the choreographed ESN that Biafra is here. So they all came out. You saw the World Igbo Congress, what they did. These are people who exposed Nnamdi Kanu's activities when he came here asking for weapons. Even though it was a different faction then. Now, another faction is now supporting ESN. And we are now the bad people. We are now the saboteurs. So you see how convoluted this issue is. So you don't even have to stress about this. That said, I'm so happy and proud of you for the answer you gave to the guy that was talking about. You told him, how come are you not enabling me to highlight what Nnamdi Kanu is doing? Because they knew, according to them, that Wazirike was a saboteur. I don't know. I haven't worked with him before. If he showed himself a saboteur today, I will know. But I don't know him as a saboteur. The only thing that I thought they did was doing something that they thought that will get Biafra. And like you know, our people does not they only come to the radio to talk. They are not supporting financially. So in that era, they are making the traders pay their own portion of the freedom fight. So I can look at it in that perspective. They are making these traders, because even today as we are talking, we are calling on our people to rise. But guess what? People are busy doing their businesses, including the ones in the north. They don't see the dangers. They don't see the dangers. So now they're coming out. But during the Wazirike time, during this time that those, they started the struggle, I believe that part of the reason for the collection is to support the restoration effort. So that does not in any way measure as a betrayal of the people. That's all I can say with that, but I don't know well about what they were doing. But guess what drew me? One of the major reasons why I came to support what Nnamdi Kanu was doing was the video he showed in Oji River. After watching that video, I lost it. I was very upset. In that video, he called out basically Peter Obi, the governor. And if you go back to his previous broadcast in 2013 and 14, he's still calling on Peter Obi that he will release the autopsy on those guys who were asphyxiated, according to him, asphyxiated at Oji and thrown into Oji River. Now we know that a few months ago, Nnamdi Kanu now is talking to Peter Obi, collecting money from Peter Obi. And the reason, listen to this, one of the primary reasons that I saw first was the video he made in Oji River, where he claimed that Peter Obi killed Biafrans and threw them inside Oji River. I didn't know that Nnamdi Kanu will go back in his life to have a phone discussion with Peter Obi without Peter Obi showing us the autopsy results of those boys that were killed in Oji River. We saw the role he played during his parents' burial. In other words, all these plans they have been doing has come to the light. That's what I want to say in that regard, my brother. But then I'm not going to hang here all day to begin to talk about everything. All I can tell our people here is that the issue of Biafra is long overdue. It depends on when you understand it. The agitation, the complaints, the grievances are in order. But as it stands today, Nnamdi Kanu has betrayed Biafrans. He's not talking about Biafra. I know these clowns that are coming here and telling you something. They didn't listen to the radio just about 72 hours ago when two strong, reliable, noble Biafran restoration supporters were disgraced over the air as the arch criminals living in Atlanta. They didn't hear that. And this is what we are seeing over these years. Uche Mefo had sold the Radio Biafra. Soludo gave him 60 million. Nobody's asking questions to that effect. It's only Nnamdi Kanu that has a good name to defend. And he's a criminal. The clear-cut criminal. It's just that these fools does not have the brain to understand what is being said here. My brother, I want to allow Paul to continue to educate our people. Paul, please, you are welcome to come anytime. I thank you for making yourself available for this great work. I want to tell dear friends, it doesn't matter how close you think you have gotten to restoration, without the truth, you can never get freedom. Therefore, I urge you to remain steadfast, to tell yourself the truth. That is the only prescription that God Almighty has given down for freedom. Without truth, we cannot go anywhere. It doesn't matter how close you think you have made it. And more importantly, we must humble ourselves. My Reverend, thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you very much.
I'm pleased we must do something to walk away with this type of setup, because they come here to distract, as you know, so
yes,
that people will not get the information.
I understand how they function. I just wanted to keep their specimen on this platform for the sake of the next generation. We can't be
we don't have we don't call their radio. Honestly. I have their number. I can manufacture number and call their radio and say idiot, keep quiet. I can do that.
No, we don't.
Okay, we don't. They shouldn't come here. They don't. My brother, refer them to your own broadcast.
That is what I do. Those of them who manage to emboss me.
What I saw today on your program, as far as the invitation of the Northern Administrator. Is a step in the right direction and must be encouraged. Later on, I will talk to you on some of the modalities that will enable for better communication and clearer output out there, so that they cut in. Yeah, I will talk to you about that later on, my brother.
I will truly
keep up the good job. May God bless you.
Thank you.
All help Biafra.
God
bless the people of Biafra.
And of course, that is our daddy. We keep reinstating it. Our daddy, Obienu. Every word he has spoken about Biafra, or all about genuine intention. We're not biased. Nobody's our enemy. Brother Paul, are you still there? Brother Paul. Brother Paul, can you hear me?
Okay, yeah, I can hear you.
Yes, please, you have to be patient with me. I have 3 WhatsApp that is on already, and then there are people trying to comment. Let me just give them a brief moment to do that, and after which I will leave the floor for you to make your final contribution, and of course, you give us the closing remark. Honestly, because of some technical issues, I left you behind. And believe me, as always, you season. Stand by as I bring in our brother Chimezie. Brother Chimezie, can you hear me?
Hello, George. Good evening, sir.
When in here, on your family vehicle.
I'm not from Afara. And I thank you to our daddy, Mazi Obidio Bienu. He said part of what I needed to say, Thank you so much, our brother Paul. I wouldn't say analogy, you're so on point. I say thank you so much. Because when you use the products to give the example, that was all about product rejection. You know, if a certain product is being rejected in the market, the manufacturers need to go back to the drawing board to find out what is going on. But that is a different kettle of fish. Dear George, I must say thank you so much for the fire and for the passion. And those detractors who are calling, they're only trying to suppress the truth. Truth is sacrosanct. It can never be buried. The same way the truth about the contraption Nigeria keep resonating even in 2021, people need to ask themselves a simple question. Even if we try to push this agitation aside, 50 years plus on, the problems are still there. There are agitations all over the country. The injustice is glaring. There's nothing to hide anymore. You know, most of these scholars, I know we all have our biases and selective biases, but when they call in, what I see is selective idiocy. You know, now they listen to them, they cannot broadcast. Who comes on live threatening babies that knew nothing of the atrocities of their fathers? You know, so much needs to be corrected. Now, one of the things I personally saw where the whole mistake went was on Biafra human rights, your program, Okwi or Chris, or even when Mazu Chemefo presents, people calling to put in their different views and thereby trying to give a balanced view. But the difference is when Nnamdi Kanu, Mazu, can you hear me?
Of course, loud and clear. I will advise you to ignore that distorting noise, please. Go ahead.
When Nnamdi Kanu sits behind his microphone, hiding behind the gadgets, he only talks for 2 hours non-stop. No chance for people to call him. You know, how many people, I ask, how many of them that calls in into this program, even calling into other programs that are pro Nnamdi Kanu? I want to use the word pro because, you know, the lines are divided. There are those who believe so long Biafra human rights, radio and freedom is concerned, it's all about Uchemefo. No, this is not about Uchemefo. Dr. Emeka Okeado sometime last year corrected this mistake. Nnamdi Kanu no Uchemefo is not the victim. The victims are Biafrans. But most of this is about Uchemefo or Nnamdi Kanu. No, it's about Biafra. And you have come out to say it on one note. The next generation must not be sold. But they don't understand it. To put out your grievances, to put out your disappointments, because you to Biafra. There's something I said to someone. I said, listen, people have to heal, and people heal in different forms. What George has lost in this struggle, I didn't lose it. What he has. So you may not understand the brand of fire in him when he sits behind the microphone, because all he's saying, he wants to save the next generation from going through the same, you know, issues. Now, you made a point when you arrested in Enugu, they sent you an error. You've pointed at things which people need to think on that. But when most of this and protagonism, it is far beyond that. This is all about Biafran, and the victims are Biafrans back home. You know, the blackmails are sufficient. Look at the latest one, blackmailing people. Kanu is not based in America. He doesn't have the facility to open a bank account or even register a charity organization in America. So how can he turn back to begin to accuse those who put their reputation And something most of the people don't know is like, I am talking over the phone. They only know me as Chimeze, nothing more, nothing less. Most of these personalities now they cannot comes on air to tarnish their image. People do not know their personality, their profession, their reputation. Most of them, their jobs, this guy can even damage their career, but they don't understand it. They don't understand these things. Is it because, like you always say, it is Biafra that brought us all together? People have put in their effort, their time, all for the sake of Biafra. And if anything has to be protected, the interest of Biafra, not the interest of Nnamdi Kanu. At the end of the day, is he talking about Biafra restoration anymore? The answer is no. Oh, there's no cultism. What power has he got to control antisocial behavior in the southeast or even in Biafra land? None. I'd say, let me call in to say thank you so much. Every day once you come online, I listen to your program. Tonight is exceptional, but people do not understand it. And to my brother Paul, hands on heart, I doff my hat. I say thank you so much. God bless you guys and keeping on. Thank you and good night.
Thank you very much. That is Maze Chimezie. And of course, as simple as any human being can be, that is how that guy looked like. And I thank you for joining me on this evening broadcast. And of course, he is the UK National Administrator for the Biafra Nation. People don't understand. They think we are here to joke. They think we are here to yap. They think we are here to create negative and hopeless influence. No, it is the truth that brought us here. And this truth must lead us home. And so whether you understand or not, whether you like it or not, believe me, we are not in a hurry. We will drive this message home. We will drive this message home because it's not about anybody. We went through what we went through because we simply represent the overall. Somebody start collecting money and yapping. Hey, no, let's shine Anambra. Go and tell Nnamdi Kanu peradventure is not listening on this segment. Let him say no election in Afari Beku and Abia State. We begin to take him serious. He want to be the leader of Bindi Windibo. Pendi Igbo, una no get sense. We came in here to correct the mess, the ills that plagues our community. You want us to analyze for you the difference between Nzaman and Afari Beku man? You want us to tell you the difference between Abatete man and Oka man? Get sense. There Yay, supremacy has spoken. Yay, he has spoken. And you're not Biafran there. Of course, he be war here. But of course, I have to go back to my brother Paul, who is standing by. Brother Paul, can you hear me, please?
Yes, I'm here.
I just have to honestly appreciate your patience, okay? And so I will have to leave the mic for you. And maybe you send a message across to Biafrans across the globe, encourage them on what to do. And those Biafrans in the northern part of Nigeria, I will want you with your extensive knowledge and understanding, a very principled individual, I must tell you, advise them. If they are finding it difficult to be able to do what they're supposed to do, you know how to direct them. Okay? Nnamdi Kanu may begin to call and threaten you. It's okay. We are not for sale, you know that already. Please, I have a sister on the line. Let me take that sister, then I come back to you. Honestly, please. Okay. Oh, yes. Yes, Ada Biafra, can you hear me? Ada Biafra.
Hello.
That is another sincere woman. Biafran, let me give you a name. Biafran Janja Weed in a boy. They will call you Janja Weed. Fulani blood, Janja Weed. Buhari sister.
My dear,
go ahead,
you really
please.
made me to not to bear it this night any longer. Because I was so much him called you from, he say he's from UK or where he called himself. Look, when all these people are saying all these things, I will be motivated to become angry, but there's nothing I can do. Because if they will come and spend a week on ground, they will understand what people are going through. And all these things that have been happening, those who doesn't go, they will not know. I never believed all these things I'm hearing in CCT when it happened to me and happened to my people. This our state here is the experimental ground. And all these things you have been analyzing, I have observed all of them and I have seen them. And all of them is true, is happening. In a situation whereby somebody will be set up, when they use you finish, they will dump you. And in a situation whereby those that are fighting so strong, so seriously to make things work, they are the people that we are called the saboteurs. And those that are dividing things, getting it to their own benefit, they are the real people. It is only in this our state that I now found out that some people are fighting for Biafra and some people are fighting for their pockets. So the extent that even the finance department has been divided into two and they brought out a different account number that all the money that are being paid is being paid into their own account. That directly or indirectly, they know that something is going wrong somewhere and they want to collect their own. Anything can happen. It is only in this place I found out that somebody can go and work for his own way out to become a leader. And those that know what it takes to be a leader, we are sabotaged and sidelined and dropped by the wayside. And still, people are stupidly and sheepishly following where their brain has gone to. But I know God will still do it. For the fact that the truth has come up, there's nobody that will cover my eyes or my mouth from saying the truth. I will continue to stand on the path of the righteous. Blood here. So my brother and my able director, this night you have really nailed it at the head. Because I was angry. If it's something that I would have jumped into the studio, I would jump in there to remove the mic from your ear from hearing from that guy. Because when somebody is talking something that's not make up, you just leave the person immediately. I have all the time when he comes on air, the supreme leader of IPOB comes on air, he must insult one or two or three persons. I'm not the type that call names or insult anybody. But the thing has reached to the extent that I could not be bearing it again. How can a man that has a family and who have sense will be coming on air to castigate other men? There's this adage in my place now. You can only pass a man with one thing. You will not pass a man with two things. All those things you are saying, do you know how that person you are talking about prepare? You come on air and castigate a man as if you are the one that has been feeding the person. Simply because we come out for struggle. Everybody has a place he comes from. Everybody has where he's going to. That we come out for this is not a realistic that you'll be using to be rubbishing everybody. Not my dear. The thing is getting or an richer, but or a share of your mind, and know you are hearing me. For the benefit of those that may not understand, you will interpret to them. Because that thing you know you don't want somebody to do to you, don't do it to another person. But somebody will be coming on to come and tell you not to mention his name. Just go to social media. You will see what they comment. That shows you how low mental they are. Their IQ is so low. Somebody will make a comment that is not referring to anybody. I think in a program like this, it's meant for everybody to bring his or her own opinion. You can debate constructively. But when somebody drops something that is not even referring to you, there is one stupid guy that I've been seeing in many people's comments. He will be just there saying, up to naked Bawapa naked there, up to Bawapa naked up to there. Is that in a comment? Has it any meaning? And then you say you are fighting for freedom. What kind of freedom are you fighting? And you don't know the person you are insulting, the mother. You don't know whether some of them have mother or not. So I'm just encouraging you, and that our brother, the comrade from North, the able admin there. I raise my hand up for you and I drop my cap. That's the kind of mentalities we work with. So we don't work with mediocres. Let them, after drinking all their drugs and go, they come on and start yapping, talking rubbish. Because I urge my people, let us continue to be law-abiding and disciplined and humble according to our daddy Obidu. Because humility gives somebody whatever thing that he's looking for. With all those their raw and languages, you will go to and tell them to come and assist you to get a nation. Is it that kind of nation you want to get? So we must change the narrative, not to the evil, but to the positive side. Or whatever rubbish they are commenting on, I'm pleading with my people not to follow them and say all those rubbish words, because that kind of word does not define people. And I'm pleading, I'm using this opportunity to plead with my people as far as this our state is concerned. Don't allow them to be using your head for Christ's sake. Make use of your brain. Stop making use of your head. Things are happening that you people never know. Open your eyes, broaden, beg God to broaden your vision for you to start seeing things that are still unfolding that you have not seen. Every day they keep on telling you Biafra is coming today, is coming tomorrow, and you are not seeing the evidence, and you cannot rest and reason well and put yourself together to know the right way to follow. Stop going to anybody that kills. Bible says it. Anybody that kills with the sword will die. Grave. Don't be a party of somebody that will waste anybody's blood. This our land is sacred. If you waste anybody's blood, your own brother on it. Look at what happened to Cain and Abel. That blood must cry unto heaven and talk to God, and law of karma must come back to you. Let all of us be conscious of what we do. I'm not serving we deal with you. So, Dr. Onyibe, I drop my cap for you. Continue with your good work. Anybody that what you are doing or saying is paining, let the person go and look for rope and put his head there so that he will stop hearing you. We are with you. We go nowhere. I stand with that ideology. We go nowhere.
Yeah.
We stand when
they don't understand. They don't understand. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for giving me the opportunity to talk. Good night from here.
Thank you, my dear. And of course, it doesn't mean you can yap, you can back, you can threaten, you can. I'm not in diaspora. It is not because I'm better than those in diaspora. I am in Biafra land. We know the reason why we came out here. Nande Kano gradually, he should go to Abia State and contest for governor. Let's help him. Mad people. Idiot who don't even know what is happening. I have served for almost close to a decade as the highest serving principal officer of IPOB. In IPOB, the whole of Africa. None but none. You that is a roadside agitator. You coming to question my integrity. Yes, I place coffee in Anambra. This is insult and humiliation to Anambra people. When he came out and challenged Ubi of furniture, Ubi Achibe, and noble man responded, where is he? Give us coffee in Afari Beku. You know election. The one we sing in no election, you now see delivered and document. Rubbish. My brother Paul don't like when I talk like this. But what do we do? Brother Paul, are you still there?
I'm still here, yeah.
Pardon my manners, okay?
I understand.
Man of God. He's a man of God like me. Only that, my brother. I stand aside for you. Please go ahead.
All right. So, while you spoke and I listened to others, some I didn't hear very clearly. I picked a thing or two and it inspired some things I want to say. But I'll try not to speak so much so that you can close the program, because I know that you have to do that soon. First of all, I want to just quickly chip in some suggestions with regards to some of the people who called you. I didn't really hear what they said, but from your responses, I could guess what their comments were. I would say this, that I grew up being very proud of my Biafra roots as I began to learn from where I came from. And one of the things I'm very proud of about my roots is the fact that Idomas and Igbos, of course, are known to be people who are considered intelligent. Not just considered, it is very clear. People from this region are considered highly intelligent and quite intellectual and very analytical in their thinking. So I found this very proud and I embrace it very well. But you see, these days, I feel appalled when I see the kind of situation happening around IPOB, that we will have people, Igbos from this region, who are unable to see the deception that Nnamdi Kanu is portraying. It makes me appalled. I'm thinking, are these really Igbos who are unable to reason at all? That this man is over there sending them to go and fight and die and risk their lives, and he's not on ground leading them. Are these Igbos? I thought Igbos were wiser than this. So if they are listening, they should hear that this is what I'm saying, that this is the height of foolishness if they are not able to recognize that this man is simply playing deception. And they should go read their dictionaries on the definition of deception. Deception is the fact, let me put it in an English that they will understand. The person who is deceiving you will paint himself as good. So whatever kind of argument they are bringing, Nnamdi Kanu says this, he says that seems reasonable. Bear in mind that when a person wants to deceive you, he will be the most reasonable person on earth. He can tell you what, he can dig up supposed truth from whatever. He's there to deceive you. And I'm very happy that we have people like you who know him so much. And so I just want to suggest this, that the next time those kind of people calls, okay, you should bear in mind that some people are calling with their minds already made up to stay stupid. Okay? Some people have made up their mind to remain stupid. And don't waste your time trying to educate those people. A person who is really interested in getting educated will do one thing. You know what he's going to do? He's going to listen. This is how you know people who are interested to get the truth and to learn. They spend their time listening. They don't come with a build-up notion or a preconceived ideology. So it's because I know that this job you are doing costs money and costs time, especially time. So when you have people who are calling and start to debate with you, trying to impose their, just cut them off. Disrupt the whole process. But when you see people who want to really discuss and listen, and when you say, please keep quiet, they keep quiet. Those ones want to learn. You can spend your time with those ones. So this is just my candid suggestion. Then to the people of Anambra, when you have the time, please give them a strong warning. Tell them that election must hold in Anambra. They should not be stupid. They should not fall for that thing. Okay? Until the time, we know that Nigeria is going to end. That's the certainty. But until such a time when that country ends, this country ends, we will participate in the legal and the political processes, because if we don't participate, then we are only making it worse for ourselves. So tell them hold there, and they should make sure it holds there, and they should fight for you. In fact, tell them I'm saying this if they can listen. Let each one of them go and get 2 voters cards, because that's what they are doing in the north. They should go and get as much as if they can. Election must hold. They shouldn't go with any nonsense that is being declared by a madman. So that's just it. I wanted to just respond to those. And then finally, to the question you asked me before I went on hold, I would say this, that really work has to be done here, especially with the Igbos who live here. And I also think that the Igbos who have practically made their home here in the north, even if, like you say, it's a temporal home, the fact that they come back home to be buried, they still call the east, they have never forgotten that. But their presence here in the north creates a kind of stability. I will also try draw your attention to the fact that over the years, with these constant riots, especially here in Kaduna that we've experienced, I think that many of them have become the wiser. So much so that Kaduna is practically divided along ethnic and religious lines. If you come to the capital, you see that for those of us who come from the south of Nigeria, we populated the south of Kaduna, and the north is predominantly Muslim and Fulani. So all this kind of them have lost investments in the previous crisis and riots that you've heard springing up in Kaduna. They were always the target. As soon as religious, political, whatever is the provocation. The Fulanis don't need so much to provoke them. They target Igbos, they target their investments, and they start to destroy them. And what can you expect from a man who does not understand the organic process of starting a business from the scratch and nurturing it like a child to maturity? Many of them are born without proper education, so it's very easy for them to destroy lives and properties. But I've noticed that Igbos and Biafrans have taken most of their investments southward, especially their lives. So we keep saying, I don't pray that a war breaks out. This is not our prayer. But if this happens, and I still say, I hope it doesn't happen, there could be some degree of casualty and losses on the side of the Igbos because they're always being targeted. But it may not be as severe as in the previous years that we've seen. And it's basically because they've taken some of their sensitive investment away from areas that are prone to violence. And they've taken signify a great deal of stability for the emerging nations. We don't know how many countries will emerge out of Nigeria when that happens. But the fact that they are here will create some kind of stability. Also, it's important to bear in mind that the Southern Kaduna people are victims in Kaduna State, similar to what Igbos are in Nigeria. This state, Kaduna State, used to be predominantly Southern Kaduna. In fact, this name Southern Kaduna that is given to them is a new name that sets them apart. They adopted this name to give them an identity. Before now, they used to be called Southern Zaria because their region extended up to a place called Jaji that is just about 30 minutes from Zaria. And Zaria used to be more or less a stronghold of the Fulani Caliphate that was established during the Damfodio's conquest. But they systematically continue to encroach until these people have been pushed down further south. And then they adopted this name Southern Kaduna. So the presence of Igbos in these states, especially in Kano, in Kaduna, and in Jos, is going to create a lot of stability for the region. So we should, as Biafra nation, one important agenda that should be seriously thought about constantly is a great deal of assessment should be made into international relationships, how the lives of these people will be protected, and the kind of relationship that will exist. We have to anticipate that maybe two countries will break out of Iowa. People think that it's just going to be one country. No. I want to tell you that people in the Middle Belt and in Southern Kaduna do not consider themselves Northerners. So they will like. Okay. But I am much worried for those in Kano. That's usually one of the worst places for them. So that's one of the reasons why I really hope and pray that God gives us wisdom and tact and very renowned strategies to build up a way to agitate for our referendum that doesn't to bring upon us. So what will be needed here for those in the North, like I said, is a lot of sensitization, a deep, consistent sensitization. And I think I have a thing or two. I will not be able to discuss them here in details, but I think we'll have a way to speak on those things. I will let you know. But we need to use conventional and unconventional means to speak to the Igbos here to understand one truth. And the truth is, Nigeria is dying. We cannot save it anymore. I was giving the analysis of the liver. I think Mazi Obidi heard me. And we Biafrans didn't kill Nigeria. I hope people understand this because everybody thinks we say Nigeria is dying and we hate it. No, we didn't kill it. The country is simply dying a natural death because it was funded without a soul. Let's put it this way. It was funded on fraudulent terms and it was funded without a soul. That's why it couldn't become a nation. It just was a country, a region. And that region or whatever, people like Tony Nadi have been saying these kinds of things. The country died already. So what we are just waiting for is when to actually put a date as its official date of, the date it was buried. That's what we are just waiting for. But it's dying. And this truth has to be very much established to the Biafrans here. It doesn't matter what kind of investment they've made here. They should recognize that the narrative and the games will change when this country is no more. So we should start to prepare for this reality. And for those Biafrans in the southeast, in Biafra land, a lot of work depends on them, especially on members of the Biafra nation and the de facto government, that a lot of groundwork needs to be done. I was giving that analysis of a product that has failed in the market, you see. And the question is, how do you get your product accepted again by the consumer after it has been declared unsatisfactory or in fact destructive? As the manufacturer, there's just one thing you need to do. You need to consume your product and let your customers watch you consume it. That is the only way you can convince them that that product is safe. You consume it, you get your family and friends, people who trust you, to consume it. And something practical happened. I was trying to draw your attention to it some 25 years ago, when it was rumored that beans had become poisonous. Newsline then, with Frank Olize, I remember then, captured that event. And this is exactly what the beans merchant in Lagos did. They just simply came with their stoves and their pot, and they cooked beans with cameras. NTA cameras were watching them. They took from their beans that they were selling, cooked it in the market, and ate it. And they were saying, watch us, we are eating it, it's not poisonous. And they simply stated there that people were raising those rumors because beans was becoming expensive, and they would hit to their call and cut down the price. But the truth was that it wasn't poisonous. And that agitation ended. Beans wasn't poisonous anymore. So you may ask me, how do we do this in Biafra? Now, we just recognize that Biafra, the concept of Biafra, is our product now. And now we've had so many false agitators. I don't need to mention. Giving a bad name to it. So the moment you mention Biafra, everybody thinks you're either fighting for a war. They tell you, okay, this one did this and that. So it's becoming a difficult in Biafra nation. But it's not an impossible task. It's difficult, really, really difficult to get people to believe in this product again, but it is not impossible. So what do we need to do? It comes back to strategy again. Okay, all right. So it falls back to the need for strategy again. And what kind of strategy do we need? We ask ourselves this question. Come Biafra, let's say, hello. Okay. Let's say let's give it, say, 15 years time. Let's give that kind of anticipation that Biafra finally comes. We get a referendum. What is going to be the first thing we'll do? One of the first agenda will be to start to rebuild the country. So my suggestion for those in Biafra is that we have to craft out strategies that allows us to start to build it now. We don't wait until it comes. There are ways we can start to build it now, so that the people we are trying to get onto this ship, these boats, to come along with us will see that we are serious and we actually believe what we are saying. I mentioned one time in the last program about building economies. Now, time will not allow me to give details for it, but this is along the line we should start to work. How are we going to build the country when it comes? Then even if it is 10% of that capacity that will work, come Biafra, we can start building 10% of that capacity now. Let people see. With like I said, for want of for different reasons, I will not want to give details because these are sensitive documents and it's a strategy, so I don't want to expose it. But we should start to build it now. Let people see that we are not just proclaiming that we want Biafra. We believe it to the point that we are building it. And this is one of the things that will get people convinced. And this work, it's a lot of work, especially because we have this kind. I think that the distractions we are getting is also evidence and testimony that we are on the right track. Because if we didn't have this kind of distractions and distract us, then we should question our agitation. But the fact that we have people who are trying to draw us back with negative and falsified agitations and lies, it's a sign that we're on the right track. And it's a difficult task ahead, but it's a doable task. So we will brace up. I want to repeat again, members of Biafra Nation should not think that it's an easy job. It's going to be difficult, but it is rewarding. And a lot of work is resting on our shoulders. Our people are looking at us and we cannot disappoint them. That's my take.
Thank you very much, Brother Paul. And honestly, you have made my day. That notwithstanding, we'll still come in to begin to review and analyze the position of our people, not just within the Nigerian state, but of course in diaspora. Thank you for joining me, and then we'll continue from where we stop. Make sure, to the best of your ability, you continue to sensitize our people. And of course, more help is coming on the way for you. Thank you for joining me once again. Good night.
Thank you for having me.
Good night.
Have a good night. Blessed night. Thank you very much.
Yes, of course, our Western administrator should get ready, because we need to know the situation of our people in the West as well as any other region within and outside Nigeria. I have somebody who's been on WhatsApp for some time now. Let me take the person, and we'll bring this program to an end. Can you still hear me, caller on WhatsApp? Are you still there? Caller on WhatsApp, are you still there? He's been on the line. Can you hear me, caller on WhatsApp? Caller on WhatsApp, can you hear me? Caller on WhatsApp, can you hear me? Dear my brother. Go ahead.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Doc Banana.
One so boalia to kuwe nenyaka.
No, sir.
No, not any him.
No, doctor.
No.
Good evening, Biafrans all over the world. My name is Chukudi Eric. I hail from Manama province. Reside here in Italy. There are things that our Biafran people, especially our people from the southeast, need to understand, because when you begin to smell danger around you and you keep quiet, someone is setting fire beside your building, the fire that will consume you, you keep quiet because of your selfish interest and greediness. The day the fire will explode, you will not have anything to say. You will be rolling, trying to escape or trying to rescue your life. For Nnamdi Kanu to come out again to tell the people of Anambra still no election in Anambra, Nnamdi Kanu is a joker. For Nnamdi Kanu to come out and tell the people of Sati that they want to place coffee in Anambra State, and we have great men in Anambra there. People, everybody keep quiet watching him. Nobody want to respond to him. It's like we don't have elders again in our land. We don't have people who can stand up and speak for our people, who can challenge this evil, all in the name of politics. Let me tell our people one thing. Nnamdi Kanu want to draw the attention of APC again, so that APC will go and bargain for him if they can give Nnamdi Kanu amnesty. The people like us will understand where you are going. If we are listening to you, we watch you, we hear, we listen to your voice, we see your step, we know where you are going, we calculate your movement. Nnamdi Kanu want to draw the attention of APC again, preparing for 2029 election and prepare 2023 election, and trying to draw attention of APC to seek for amnesty. They are giving Fulani people amnesty, right? This is where Nnamdi Kanu is heading to. Our people need to open their eyes. Our people need to be careful for what we are trying to do. If Nnamdi Kanu want to turn Igbo land to Abazonia, and our Igbo brothers will keep quiet watching him, I wish them good luck. If Nnamdi Kanu is a man enough, let Nnamdi Kanu tell the people of Delta State no election in Delta State now. Delta is not a Biafra land. He said that Edo is a Biafra land. Let him come out and tell Edo people still no election in Edo State.
Let him tell Afari Beku people that there is no election in Afari Beku.
Let's just forget about Afari Beku first. Let him go to Bayelsa State and tell the people of Bayelsa, say no election in Bayelsa now. You are using your own people to show strength and muscle. You want to suppress your own people, and you are telling them you want to give them freedom. You are molesting them. You are giving them fake hope that you are giving them freedom while you are oppressing them. You are intimidating your elders. You are even, in fact, even now they cannot know what is good for him. Because what I'm saying about him is going to be bad for him. Very, very bad for him. What I'm saying about Nnamdi Kanu is going to be worse for him. If he know the right thing not to do, is let him just humble himself and respect our elders. Biafra, who are still believing on Nnamdi Kanu, insulting your elders of the community. I tell you, if you continue to insult our elders, you are not doing anybody any harm, you are doing yourself. Because I was discussing with one of my friends one day. I told the friend, I said, okay, now we say Edo is a Biafra, right? Because we have some argument between us. He said, yes, Edo is a Biafra. I said, good and fine. Can you tell me any Edo person now inside this IPOB who we can use and confuse the elders of Edo land? He looked at me, he said, nobody. I said, look at yourself, nobody. The Wasofia that is a member of IPOB, who through Wasofia, IPOB can convince some people. Now Wasofia has become a terror to the people of Edo by insulting the Oba of Edo, insulting the king, the traditional rulers of Edo, because you believe that you are Nigodo. Tell me anybody now from Edo land who can confuse the elders. And I let the person know something, that if we really need Biafra, each state, we need to win the heart of the people. Let me say 70%. Each state, we need to win the heart of people, 70%. Each local government, 70%. If we really need this Biafra, you cannot be losing people. You are getting 30% and you are proud of yourself. You say you are seeking for freedom. If you cannot win the heart of people up to 80%, forget about the freedom. You don't need freedom. Because the little people you have around you that can be able to confuse their own people, you teach them how to insult their people. And a man, if you are insulting your elders, you don't have right to come and communicate with your elders. The elders will listen to you. Biafra should wake up. Biafra should stop listening to Nnamdi Kanu insult and propaganda. When you continue to listen to Nnamdi Kanu and propaganda, you think that you are helping Biafrans. In fact, you are destroying what people have struggled to build. What will give us this freedom? In fact, you are contributing 90% to destroy our effort. Insult and propaganda will not give us this struggle. It will not give us what we are looking for. No election in Anambra State. Okay, 2023. No election in Anambra State. Let's watch and see. If Anambra State governor begin to seek Nnamdi Kanu attention for them to conduct election, it's a big shame to them and disgrace to them. Because if I have opportunity to become a governor of a state, or to contest as a governor of a state, Nnamdi Kanu still no election, I will keep quiet. I will not mind him. If we have only 3 people who come and vote, the election will still be won by one person. Who is Nnamdi Kanu? Because they have crowd, people have helped him to gather crowd. He's jumping up. One day, that thing that is giving him morale will fail him. My advice to Nnamdi Kanu now for Nnamdi Kanu to go back home and make peace with our people. Let's sit down and discuss what we want. If we really want the Biafra, because as for me, Nnamdi Kanu don't know what he wants. He don't really know. In fact, he's confused. Nnamdi Kanu is a confused man. People should stop listening to him to make him feel like yes, he's a superior, he's the Messiah. He can never be a Messiah of Biafra. He should go to Afari Beku and start from there first. Let him make a peace with Ezafara. The people that have molested now Afari Beku, let him make peace with them first. From there, I will return my respect. The respect I have for him before, I will start respecting him again. After making peace with the people. Thank you, sir. God bless you, sir.
I'm so sorry. Yes. And then your money name we're meeting again.
Akpọmagwọ young son and cotton to them by anyway.
Okay, Jamie Brown Laladi. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Of course, this is where we draw the curtain for this evening segment. Biafrans who are Biafrans. Biafrans in Benue, Biafrans in Kogi, Southeast. Honestly, what we seek for is long overdue. We are going home. For the Biafran nation, it's not in your place to know what we are doing, how we intend to do it, but be rest assured that we are going home. And of course, my appreciation to all of you who were able to call in. An apology to those that cannot take their call at this moment. We'll sign off from here. We will continue from where we stop tomorrow. There will be election in Anambra State. I, George Onyibe, say there will be election in Anambra State. Except all those politicians in Anambra are the leader of IPOB. They are the ones sponsoring Nnamdi Kanu. And then we give them unknown government. Njuhi. It's okay. Good night. And God be with all of you.
It's a great nation. The spirit of an innocent Biafrans, would it flow like a river? I said the blood of an innocent Biafrans, would it massacre, would it flow like a Red Sea? Spirit of an innocent Biafrans, would it massacre, would it rise like a big storm? Rise up, spiritually and physical. Rise up, on anybody, with day again, this my freedom. Rise up, on anybody, with who art in heaven. We say hallowed be thy name. We dey wait for your kingdom to come. Right here on earth that is in heaven. You say promise, you promise your children. Promise, you promise your people. Promise the Biafra. Yes, it's a Magamesh. 1945 till the today they are not satisfied. Yeah, we're like a stranger in the land of scavengers. Then they kill us, then they eat us, so they make what of us and our senators. Don't turn against us, they want to stop us, but they cannot stop us. Yeah, Biafra is unstoppable, unstoppable, it's unstoppable. Unquenchable, freedom. Cause if they're blocking all the Biafra freedom, because he fired under too much, because he cried under too much, because he suffered under too much. in a nation, because the killing done they too much, because the suffer done they too much, because the cry done they too much, in a nation, yeah.